The Huntley family had a wonderful time on their dream vacation in the Dominican Republic, but when they returned home, Angela became ill.
2 weeks after we got home, I started coming down with what seemed like viral symptoms. I just found myself not being able to get off the couch, and my limbs felt so heavy. It started to become hard to lift my head, and sometimes hard to breathe. You know, we're testing for this, but everything shows up fine, and so the doctors just seemed frustrated with me that maybe it was all in my mind. Now by this time, kind of lost 8 weeks of my life. My frustration grew, started to appear hopeless.
A doctor who was a family friend began investigating Angela's symptoms in hopes of discovering a reason for her illness.
I knew that he was digging. I got a call from them, and they told me that they found there's a condition called ciguatera, and he found at the time that the only place in the world that was actually testing for ciguatera toxin and could give you a positive test was the University of Hawaii, because they were conducting a study.
Ciguatera toxin is a foodborne illness that's contracted by eating infected tropical and subtropical warm water fish.
And sure enough, several days later, we got back a positive confirmation that I was showing that I had ciguatera toxin in my blood. The fish that I ate, they weren't raw. I wasn't eating sushi. I wasn't trying anything daring. Everything was cooked well, and they were very common fish.
The ciguatera toxin is odorless, tasteless, and very heat resistant, virtually undetectable. Unfortunately, there's no treatment and no cure.
Some people it ends in death. Some people the sickness runs a course of like 25 years. It felt like I was in a coma. I couldn't move, I couldn't open my eyes, lift my head, but I could hear everything. You know, I could hear my children playing and I couldn't play with them. And I could hear other people taking care of them. And I knew what was going on, but I couldn't participate. I had my husband take me to the elders of our church at the time, and they anointed me and they prayed for me. I just remember one of my pastors looked at me as I left, and he said, "Angie, have you thanked God in this?" And my heart just broke when he said that, because I thought, I know those scriptures. And I know I'm supposed to thank him, and I hadn't. It was so difficult to start speaking out gratitude for something that I hated so much, because I did hate the sickness. I was being robbed. I was being robbed of time with my kids. I had missed Christmas, you know. I mean, I missed 12 weeks of my life. But yet, every time I spoke out, thank you for this. Thank you that I don't understand what's going on, and thank you that I don't even know if I'm gonna live to see another day. I just kept hearing, because I will be glorified. And I would speak that, because you will be glorified in this. I found myself yelling, because you will be glorified, because you will be glorified.
Angela wasn't healed at that moment, but something had shifted. While she found strength in praising and thanking God, her healing would come with revelation.
When you speak gratitude, the enemy doesn't know that language. I felt something lift off me. I felt something break in that time. I had learned about sozo, which is a Greek word. It's in the New Testament 110 times. Its translation is saved, healed, physically healed, redeemed, delivered, and rescued. And so in that moment, something changed inside of me. There was like a switch that went off. And the Lord said to me, "You never ever doubt that I'm your Savior, but I'm just as much your healer as I am your Savior. You can't just have part of me. You have to, I am all of me." And it just hit me. As much as I am saved, I am healed. And like hit again, and I kept feeling, I really felt, I understand now why so many people, and why in certain instances Jesus did say your faith has made you well, because something switched in me. I just knew I was healed. My husband came downstairs, and I'm laying there just, you know, propped up. I looked at him, I said, "God just healed me." And I got up. I got up. And my kids were right there in the living room. And we just like looked at each other and started laughing and screaming. And we turned on music and we started dancing. And I knew I was healed. I was overwhelmed. I was so overwhelmed by the healing. But in that moment, I looked in the eyes of my 4 little boys and I realized that they would always know and never doubt that Jesus is healer.